AudioGrams, do they work? Should I be on YouTube? What about LinkedIn? What about Facebook? Oh no, should I have a newsletter? Oh my goodness, now I've got to do a repurpose over on Instagram. And oh, what about the Tickety Talk? And oh my goodness, whoa, I know. Take a breath. I feel you, because you want your numbers to increase. You want that listenership to go up because you want to make a bigger impact. And let's be real, you want to make more income. Well, I was having a conversation with Lauren Litt, LilShamelessPlug.com, after my conversation with her on my other podcast. And I was like, can I hit record on this? Because she was dropping some serious value bombs when it came to podcasting and social media and how to properly use it and what not to be using, the do's, the don'ts, the goods, the bads, the ugly, and how some big old companies that every single one of us podcasters knows is using social media to grow and where they're focusing their attention. So again, this is going to be a little bit different because this was just a random conversation. So you will see that I just pulled out the good, juicy nuggets that are the most beneficial to you. So it is a little bit choppier than normal, but I promise you, by the end of this episode, you're going to be like, holy crap, maybe I do want to be on social media. Maybe I haven't given up yet. And maybe there's just this one little thing that I can do with ease and flow to grow my show, to make a bigger impact, and to make that income. So, are you ready? Let's go. Welcome to the Cure for Pod Fade. I am so excited you found your way here because that means you know how powerful podcasting can be. You are ready to build a legacy with your unique story, your message, and your offer, but you're getting a little overwhelmed. You're feeling frustrated, you're feeling stuck. You just don't know how to grow your show, find a new audience, and make some money. Podcasting can be the ticket to the life of your dreams, and it doesn't have to be as hard as you think. We're talking about all the ingredients it takes to be a successful, profitable podcaster without that icky overwhelm, because you are too magical to join the 85% plus club that pod fades away. I'm your host, Jen Dragonette, so let's make podcasting easy peasy lemon squeezy. We spend so much time creating all of these things and these assets, and we're trying to grow our shows, but it's not working because we're not, again, I'm guessing here, so please correct me if I'm wrong, is that we're not looking at the audience's need on that kind of platform. Like a podcast is someone coming, they're going to learn, they're going to sit with you. Maybe you had this mic drop crazy quote. Okay, great. Say it again and like create some new content around it.
Yes. So here's the other thing. A podcast is so brilliant because it's an intimate conversation that you're having. So why would that intimate conversation that you're having work on a visual platform? Think about that. It wouldn't, right? Like it's not, that's why those audiograms don't transfer, because people are like, I'm here because I want to see your face. I want to be engaged with you. I want to scroll through some kind of carousel. I want to watch your dog play in the yard. Like, I don't want to listen. I want to view. And that's why audiograms are huge failures on every platform. So if we want to share your social media content into any of these other platforms, you need to repurpose it in a visual way that doesn't include a waveform, because it's just not interesting. I'm sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. I mean, like, listen to the expert. Like, you might think of me as your podcast expert that's crazy, that's on occasion. I don't want to do this because it's not going to work, but I kind of sometimes know what I'm talking about.
A couple times she may know what she's talking about. Yes. But yeah, it doesn't work. And this is so in my business, we have the full service clients, and several of them have podcasts or are on podcasts. And whenever we share that content, it is so low engagement, such a drop. And you're like, well, we have to share it because we're sharing it, but do it in a different way. So I'm on this podcast right now. You will put this podcast out. I will share it because I'm on Instagram primarily. So I am going to share this to my Instagram audience, but I'm probably going to do it in a way where I create a little video. And let's see if I actually do this. I create a video, and in that video, I'm going to say, guess what? Audiograms are awful. Stop it. Stop doing it. And go listen to this podcast to find out why. See how I created almost like a commercial for the podcast without actually sharing a piece of the podcast. We have to take that step back and figure out how is this going to translate into a different platform.
Oh, all right. Hanging man in shame. No more
No,
audiograms. No more
please stop.
audiograms. And on occasion, I'll create them just because it's easy. That's the easiest thing for us to do to share. So if we're not creating audiograms, because we've all now taken the vow to stop putting audiograms out.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. LittleShamelessPlug.com. I just love your name. I'm like,
Thank you.
name of like, yes, please, Little Shameless Plug. Yes, LittleShamelessPlug.com.
.com.
But if we're going to stop putting audiograms out, how do we bring people from social media to our podcast if we're not putting out audiograms?
Great.
Other than the commercials.
Yes. So let's have this really clear conversation about the shoulds versus what's actually working for your podcast. Okay. So I have a client who's pretty big. You probably have heard with him. You work in podcasts, so you probably use this client. But the social media traffic to a podcast is so low. It's like, I wish I had an actual percentage, but I feel like it's like 3 to 7% of your entire audience is coming from social media. Does that mean social media is worthless? Absolutely not. But social media has a different goal than to drive traffic to your podcast. Once people are listening to your podcast, it's the way to re-engage them, build community, create the sales funnel, and make sure they buy. But it is not moving people to your podcast. So first, look at your numbers. Actually look at your numbers. Now, if for some reason Facebook is driving 20% of people to your podcast, let's go all in on Facebook. Let's really look at what that platform is doing for you and actually start working for it. I just picked a random, it's not that Facebook's going to work for everybody, but I'm just saying, like, look at your numbers, one. Number two, if you have not claimed your YouTube podcast channel, now is the time, my friends. Now is the time. So YouTube, just this year, I think it was March, it actually launched. Yep. We've been preparing for this for a while, but you now can claim your podcast channel on YouTube. And the reason why YouTube got into the podcast game is because lots and lots of people listen to their podcasts through YouTube. Because for whatever reason, when they're at work, they're able to open YouTube, put a channel on, and just listen in the background, and hours of content is listened through YouTube. So if there's only room in your life for one social media channel, quote unquote, YouTube is the number one place you want to do that. And put your audiograms there. You guys, do it. Make an audiogram of the best quote and put it as the short for your YouTube channel, but like, let's just get really clear and really specific and do less more often on your social media.
Oh, I am so excited that you brought up YouTube. Oh,
you were
I
dancing.
love social media. I was like dancing. Yes. Because first off, I don't think of YouTube as a social media platform.
It's not. It's a SEO platform. Yeah.
But I'm really excited that you brought this up because you are somebody who's like, yes, use this. Like, here's where you can put those audiograms if you really want to.
Yeah. If you really like, I love for you. And audiograms have a space, right? Your guests are going to easily share an audiogram for them, but just don't leave it at that. Like it's not working. We all know it's not working. Can we be a little bit more creative? I would rather see you drop all social media and create a great newsletter that connects and drives people than spend all your time creating audiograms that we know aren't going to work. Ooh, I wanted to say something. YouTube. Oh, YouTube. So YouTube is one of the three that I call the secret converters on the social media platforms. It's YouTube, it's Pinterest, and it's LinkedIn. Those ones have higher conversion rates, meaning leaving the platform and going to whatever you're asking people to do. So if you're going to spend time on something, one of those three is a really great bet for you.
Ooh. I'm like, so many things are going through my head right now. And one of the things I want to rewind and go back to is that you talked about driving traffic from social media to podcasts doesn't work. But, and this is one of the things that like I have been trying to grasp the concept is it's a great place to take that warm audience that's listening to your long form content, whether that's YouTube, podcasting, blogs. I don't know, is LinkedIn considered long form content because it's got I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. Yeah. I don't know LinkedIn. So I don't know if that's like somewhere where you can connect like every other social media platform, but it's a really great way to take that warm audience that's listening to that longer form SEO content and nurture them instead of bringing it backwards. Like you just confirmed, like my brain has been trying to wrap my head around that for years now. Thank you.
Yeah. Social media is not going to make or break anyone's business. Like we've all heard of that story of like that one person who sold a microphone cover or whatever, and they made $8 billion. Great. That is not normal. And that is not what's probably going to be best for you and your business, just looking at it. But it is a fantastic community building tool. Because people will really get to know you when they get to see your face, they get to hear your opinions, they get to get little tidbits about how you do this and that. And then you just shorten the time to make them into buyers. That's really the goal, the gem of social media, especially as we transfer more into this AI world and things are changing and the platforms are getting different. I think that the one thing that's going to hold strong in social media is the community building.
Yeah. And that's the one reason that I've always kept like my Facebook going is because of Facebook community. I'm like, I know that we're all sick of Facebook groups, but I feel like my people that end up in there, although it's a tiny group, but my people in there are my friends. Like they're my die hard, ride or die kind of friends. And they're not all purchasers, but that tiny little community has built the business that's sustaining my lifestyle.
Yeah. And everybody loves to hate on Facebook. Newsflash, y'all. Instagram is Facebook. They're the same thing. Okay. Like they're both owned by the same company. We're not surprised here, but I hate Facebook, but lots of people are still on Facebook, and Facebook is having this really weird resurgence. So most of our clients had moved away from Facebook. Like we still had the pages up, but we weren't really nurturing them. And about November of 2022, we're in April of 2023 right now. All of a sudden, they started getting followers and likes. And we were like, what is happening? We're not doing anything different. We're not upping our level of content. So I think Facebook knows that it's like dying. And so it's putting some more effort into, we went too far the other way. So we're bringing it back. So I don't hate Facebook, especially if your audience is in their 30s or 40s. You want to target people who are 60,000 plus. Like Facebook is a fabulous place for you. It just is.
Yeah. Oh, so Facebook, LinkedIn, those were the places that I was thinking of going back to. So you've just made like, again, I love when things get confirmed to me about like, these are the places to convert. This is the place to build community. And I think for me, when I looked at Facebook and I think it was like an ad during Super Bowl, and I'm like, they have a commercial for Facebook community during Super Bowl. That ad was a lot of money, but that also means that app is coming back.
Yeah.
It wasn't Super Bowl this year. It was like, I think it was last year or the year before, but I remember seeing Facebook community ads and I'm like,
And we can all hear like, TikTok's the fastest growing. Like we all got to move over there. Fine. Okay. That doesn't mean everybody left Facebook. Especially if you are in a certain demographic and you're like, but those are my clients. Like my clients are on Facebook. It's still a totally relevant and great tool as long as it works for you. If it stops working for you, leave it, please. But I do think that there's a lot of tape we can run out on Facebook still. Although don't pay $14.99 per month for the meta check. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Just don't do it. Stop throwing AudioGrams over there and don't pay for the check mark. If you get nothing else, there's your 2 tips.
There's your 2 tips. And please start your YouTube pod. Even if you're just getting the channel and you're like, I will deal with this later, just at least put your little thing up and leave it at that.
And if you use the host Libsyn, just set it up to automatically send the audio with the graphic on it over there and make your life easy. Because that's what I'm doing right now. I don't have time for video editing and all of that. But it's amazing because as soon as they switched over the platform, I have been doing this for a while. As soon as they switched it over and I changed it to podcast, my views went from 5 to 45. And I was like, it's literally an image with an audio over the top of it.
Yeah. It's the ultimate audiogram.
The whole podcast.
Okay, so here's the thing about all platforms. They are jealous bitches, okay? They have tools, and if they've got a new tool and you play with their new tool, they're going to be like, yes, you play with my tool. I'm going to push you out, because they need to know, does this tool work or not? So jump on podcasts immediately. And even if you're listening to this November of 2023, I guarantee you are still at the front of the pack. Like, get on this immediately, because you will see a lift. Like, I shared a short the other day. I know I'm my own worst client. I have terrible social media. So when you look at me, and I have a multi six-figure business, guys, okay? So like, we can have bad social media and good businesses. It's going to be fine. But I shared a short for the very first time and I got 3 followers. I was like, what? What's happening? I'm a YouTube convert. I need to go be on YouTube now.
Right. Oh, I love this conversation. And if you are like dying to come out of pod fade, like this can be part of it. It's like, you don't have to be on all the platforms. No one. Stop doing audiograms. Get your booty over on LinkedIn. Go to, shamelessplug.com. Go hang out with Lauren, because she's going to help you. She's converting me. And I'm just really excited. So if you could add one ingredient to the cure for pod fade, what would that be?
It's my mantra. It's do less more often. I don't want you on every platform. I want you to pick one, because it's not sustainable to try and make all of this stuff happen, and you're not actually getting traction. Pick one and lean into the engagement of that and build your community there.
Community, community, community. I love it
together.
I'm like, I love it, because that's what it is. It's like, I feel like, stop thinking about the numbers, start creating conversations, start creating that community. And like you said, you have a multi 6-figure business and you're like, I have 600 followers. Like, it's possible.
Yeah. I'm not just kidding you all. Like, I have bad social media. Go see it. It's truly bad. You're going to be like, I could do this. Yes, you could. That's part of my intention of really, I don't let my team do my social. Like, I really do it myself, because I want you to see how terribly tragic it can be and still be successful. Because you don't have to be some kind of magic influencer or the biggest podcast host in the world to reach the people who are going to resonate with your message.
Mic drop.
There it is. Mic dropping. We're mic
drop. Oh my gosh. I love that. May the 4th be with you. I wanted to just confirm this with you one more time. One more time. Are you ready? Do not post audiograms anymore.
Please stop doing this thing that nobody likes you. Nobody likes
May the 4th be with you.
I love it.
But on the other side, there is a way you can use an audiogram. And Lauren is not going to leave us without giving us the hot tip on, if you're going to keep using audiograms, of how to make them flip and work for your social media and your podcast. Let's do it. I'm really good at the podcast side now, so I'm kind of wanting to venture out. But I'm also bringing in people that are in that 10 to 15,000 followers that are now starting to come with the podcast, and they're like, why aren't my followers coming over? I don't get it. I'm like, because you are asking me to create audiograms for you. They don't work.
Audiograms do. Can we just stop sending audiograms out into the world? Okay, that one message and one message only. No one cares about your audiogram. It was a great idea. It's not working. Can we move on, please? I will share though, because this is my hot tip. This is my hot social media tip. If you are going to do an audiogram, and I cannot take credit for this very brilliant idea. A friend of mine, Samara Bay, she has a book and she has been on bunches of podcasts, and she did this first and it works so well. And this is what I want you all to do. When you release your audiogram that no one's going to listen to, you are then going to remix it. And you are going to remix it so you're listening to the comment and just kind of responding with your face to that comment. So if you don't know what a remix is, you can do this on TikTok. You can also do this on Instagram. And it's where the videos are side by side and you are responding to whatever the other piece of content is. For some reason, the remix of your audiogram fantastic. It does wonders. People are very engaged. They're very excited about it. I don't know why it works. And specifically on Instagram, there's something about Remix. Maybe it's because it's a newer tool. It gets more reach. It gets more engagement. So that's the only reason I would ever ask you to do an audiogram. Otherwise, please stop. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.